2, 3, and then welcome. Hey, welcome to the BigDealGuys.com.
I love the fact that you actually instead of 1, 2, 3.
I thought we were not into counting.
Right. Well, we're not into counting. We don't care what order we count in.
Oh, 1, 3, 2,
13.
Welcome
That's
to
right.
the Big Deal Guys. Welcome. Here we go. Welcome to the BigDealGuys.com. 13 things, but who's counting?
Yeah, that's right. And we're only at 8 or 7 or
5
12
or 9. You're keeping up with them, we hope. As a matter of fact, speaking of things numbered and not numbered, you know, on the BigDealGuys.com blog site, there are some warehouse rules there.
Yeah, and normally we don't really like rules, so we'll say these are more like strong suggestions.
Real strong suggestions. In fact, rule number 80 is just quit. And that has one to do with you. If you're boring, just fire yourself.
There you go.
But hey, this is not boring today. Last week we talked about zip lines.
That's right. We talked about zip lines as one of the 13 things. We showed you a little rig that we had built up here. And inside it are a few little servos. I'm going to come up close and show you. And these little servos right in here are part of a radio-controlled apparatus that we had designed. Well, we didn't design radio control, but we designed this little apparatus. And we're going to show you how to hook up some RC components to your family ministry environment.
All right, here, take this battery, plug it into somewhere.
The battery end, okay.
There's not a receiver on there, so let's do one of those. Here, let's just plug that in there and I'll explain what we're doing.
All right, there you go. All right, plug this in here.
Take a look at this. This is a radio that you would find to fly a small airplane. You know, not an airplane that people can ride in, but the one that pester your neighbors in the neighborhood.
Or chase your friend's cat.
This is a JR Sport. About $75 will get you this radio, about 4 servos, which are these cool little things in here that you steer the airplane with. And Andrew right now is plugging the battery into the battery slot on a receiver. This is a transmitter. This is RC, or radio control. Now some of you have probably got this stuff. Don't throw these away. Somebody in your church right now, somebody in your community has some old stuff like this they'd like to get rid of. Take it. You can use it for some incredible stuff. In fact, while you hook that up, I'm going to show you one that I did. This is an old radio called an Attack 4. I mean, literally, this is from the late 80s, early 90s. Someone gave it to me, and I took the servos. Ooh, that's working nicely. Someone took the servos out of all these old race cars. I took those, built an armature, put the servos in, and literally, we don't have enough time to go into the whole thing, but what happened was we wound up with this bird right here that we call Solomon the Old Crow, and basically his head turns, his mouth moves open, his tail flutters up a little bit, and we run him with a radio just like this. So he's kind of our first little grungy looking animatronic, and he's not charged up right now. So. And he also
how we found that bird is a whole nother story. I didn't find it. I didn't even know Michael then. I might not even been born when that crow was.
I had a friend dispatch that bird for me. That was a real crow that we did the home taxidermy. Don't send us emails on that. So you're going to take a radio like this. You're going to put the servos in.
So here's your connection. Right here you've got your servo. That's connected into this controller here. And then you've got a battery connected in the other side. And depending on the controller, there's a number of different slots in there that you can just insert whatever piece you need.
There's speed controllers. There's, for those of you who fly, there's ailerons and there's rudders and there's, you know, you got all that stuff.
Elevators.
Don't worry about it. Just put it in one that works, okay? But here's the thing. This is from Home Depot, and it literally is a electrical junction box, and this is from
it's like a tool rack.
It is. It's like a little tool cup that goes
like a pegboard.
On the pegboard. So use anything you got. I just kind of liked it because it looked high tech. Put the 2 servos
real high tech right here.
And then we use
tell what era he's from.
We use a clothespin. That's what we call CP47s, clothespins. And here's what happens. If you take a clothespin and you got one that works?
It's in there, man. It's working. Yep.
Oh yeah, can you see that clothespin? Look at that. When I move this, the clothespin opens. When I move this, the clothespin opens. Now think of this. If Andrew had that hanging up in the ceiling and you had a balloon in there and you wanted to do a single balloon drop, or if you wanted to drop a piece of string, if you want to drop a rotten egg, I don't care, and you just had a little piece of string attached to it, I could pull down on this lever. It turns the servo, opens and closes the clothespin. You can drop things, or somebody else can do it. And I'll tell you, you're going to have some high school folks in your ministry that absolutely love this technology, and their mind and their imagination will just take off as you sit down and say, hey, what if we were to let something go on a zip line, radio controlled, and you're gonna get some help, okay? So that's how that works.
So here's the thought. Now you can add two of them in here like this, right? Now we got two. So on one end, this one goes on a zip line, right? This actually holds your carrier up. And then this side releases whatever you want to release at the end. And so you can see there's one release.
I could do this all day. I could build something
Two
really cool.
release.
So this one turns it loose, and this one drops it on the audience. And actually, we have used this one. So think about it coming down one day and just dropping your egg salad sandwich right next to whoever needs it. Radio control. Okay? Whoever needs it.
Or
that's the
whoever
cool
didn't
stuff.
want it. That's what's
Some
more
of these
fun.
are very crudely made. This is another box on a piece of wood. This has a steel tube on it that literally can drop a marble. This was the first one I ever
This
made.
goes back in time.
Oh look,
Nice.
wait. I made this in 1993.
Wow.
And literally out of some of the old stuff, and it still has CP47 breakaway. I was doing a camp on Jekyll Island, moved to Hilton Head. Pretty cool stuff. So that's RC control.
Now, taking RC to the next step, one of the things you can find if you're into any type of computer programming or you'd like to learn is Arduino. Arduino is an actual microprocessor that will attach to your computer, PC or Mac, it doesn't matter, and you can actually program a couple of commands in there and attach all variety of RC controllers, infrared. I mean, you can control things just like this with an infrared, like your TV remote.
Like the remote on your Mac.
Yep. All those little pieces. And what's neat about that is as you take those, learn how to program that, you can do multiple steps, fail safes, or just, all different things. In fact, we had a couple of guys let us know that they were building something phenomenal for their ministry. And so we look forward to seeing kind of all the things. He talked about having 8 or 10 release switches and points off of just one little program. And it can sequence a lot of things. It can do 2 or 3 different things at once. So that's kind of another step. Arduino, you can look it up, Arduino. Adafruit.com is a great place to find that.
Adafruit.
That's right.
And so here's the thing. It's not that we're trying to complicate your life with these 13 things. Because when you tell people you're going to build them, especially get into RC, Arduino, or even the old school of flying airplanes and servos, you're going to find some people who say, oh, I know how to do that. Can I help? And that's where we want you to read down in our blog and you'll see the Tom Sawyer effect. The whole thing of you make it seem like it's so much fun, other people want to come and help you paint your fence. That's the whole deal of these 13 things. So tune in right here, watch our blog. We've got some more warehouse rules or those strong suggestions coming up. Get into RC. We'll do a couple sketches on this. RC as in radio control.
Hey, we'll see you next time for 13 Things, 10:37, Friday mornings.
Bingo. A little fade out early there. It's good.